humans do.
And of course, as most cases with possession, they got a priest involved in it. They got this guy named Father Maginot. He said that he was only involved by chance. Just happened to be filling in for the usual chaplain at the Gary ER when one of the kids showed up. The backwards wall walk-in situation. Oh yeah. He said we were having our Bible study after Mass when I got the call saying.
I mean, do the voice right, Marcus.
We were having our Bible study after Mass when I got a call saying, "You're a Catholic priest. You do exorcisms. We need you to do one."
You know, I'm more of like with a pedophilic kind of priest. I don't like the exorcisms.
I'll finish the rest of the sentence. They went on to tell me that a little boy had just walked and glided backwards up a wall and flipped over to land on his feet. And I asked them, was it from the Jackson family? Because we had a boy like that a long time ago, and I tell you, I fixed him right up.
Yes, you did, and you made a great musician out of him. Thank you, molesting priest.
So Father Maginot, he was convinced that the reason behind the possession was because someone, possibly an ex-boyfriend, had put a hex on the mother, which was transferred over to the children.
Ooh, well, I'll remind you, when I had my past life regression / soul cleansing, they found out that I had 3 curses put upon me.
Really?
And I think that, because that's what they talk about in circles, in magic circles, that curses are not necessarily just somebody like, getting Eye of Newt and boiling it into a big cauldron. It's that just sometimes concentrated negative thought, like when LaToya Ammons maybe set fire to his favorite Ravens jersey.
Right.
That rage that comes out of that moment could leave a hex on LaToya.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's true, and I would... He deserved it, being a Baltimore Ravens fan, living in Indiana. It's Colts country,
It's not about I've heard that it's not about the team. It's about the colors of the jersey sometimes.
Oh, if you're sort of in a gang.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
So, of course, Henry mentioned earlier that cops came in and were scared shitless. One cop said that he took a picture on his iPhone of a certain area in which there was a dirt floor in this place, and he took a picture of the crucifix that they had set up in there, and he said that when he went later to check for the picture to show somebody, he said the picture had disappeared and his iPhone never behaved the same again.
Well, I have an iPhone 5 and it's majorally flawed. It just lost its battery in
my
a half
5S
hour.
is also not working as well. So
am I right?
I think it's just the phone.
If he has an iPhone, and then you said dirt floor?
Dirt floor.
So we are dealing with more of your upper class Indiana. They actually have a floor.
Yeah, they
That's
actually
phenomenal.
do have a floor. And in fact, when some of the cops dug down into the floor, because
they could dig into the floor.
Yeah, well, it's a dirt floor. Of course you could dig into the floor.
And at no point were they thinking maybe concrete would fix it.
No.
Maybe the demons are just coming up because you don't have a floor.
Maybe, but they thought maybe there's a body down there. Maybe there's something that we can extricate.
Also, if I knew that there were dirt floors in Indiana and I was a homeless person, I would be an official, actual mole person.
Yeah.
Digging tunnels underneath the homes in Indiana so I could come up through the basements and have a place to sleep.
Yeah, are they doing that sort of like Hamas tunneling system? It's very, very possible, all the way from New York to Indiana, maybe.
It's very complicated, but if anybody can do it, it's homeless people from Gary, Indiana.
Just put a little wood down, just anything.
In fact,
at least a rug.
Sure.
That's what I would do. I would give it a rug and a lamp and just say, it's a dirt living room.
Yeah.
Well, what they found when they dug below, they found boys' socks with the ankle portion cut out, a fake fingernail, women's panties, a heavy corroded iron weight, a broken plastic shoehorn, and a red oval kettle lid.
I mean, that's just what you find in the ocean. That's what you find where anyone just litters. They've just been throwing stuff down on that dirt floor for years. Well, that's where my nail went, and she puts it back on.
Well, one cop, he said after, the cops were in there for a while, and they were hearing all kinds of weird shit, and he said, "Enough of this garbage. I'm getting out of here."
Whoa. What is he from? Is it a Boston cop?
No. Well, I mean, that's just how I imagine.
That's the Indiana accent.
Yeah.
That's a good form of the Indiana accent.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Enough of
this garbage. I'm from Gary, Indiana.
Oh, okay.
So he left the property. He said he went to a gas station and made a phone call. He said, "I have my police radio, my squad car dash AM FM radio, my police cell, and my iPhone." He said,
"A lot of communication at once."
Yeah,
so much.
And I imagine if your girlfriend is looking for you on each one of those methods of communication that you're gonna get annoyed. Like,
No, then you just be like, oh, I was at Latoya's house and the demon messed up my phone, baby. I swear to God, it was the demon, baby.
See, I was looking at the pictures I had taken on my iPhone when I made this call, and all of a sudden, this growling voice came from my AM/FM radio. It said,
Rush Limbaugh here.
It said,
you out of here.
Get out of here.
you out of here. Possibly,
Out of here. You out of here. Hey, was it a dead umpire? What happened?
It does also sound like
You out of here. I think he was just listening to a baseball game and the signal was getting all wavy.
yep. He said then there was a.
what's his name from Mortal Kingdom instead of come over here.
Oh, Mortal Kombat.
You
yeah.
out of here.
You out of here. Finish him.
He said there was a lot of garbled other stuff and static.
Just sounds like he's listening to Bad AM.
To be honest, of this whole, the most interesting thing about this whole story is that very rarely in a haunted case do you get testimony from police officers.
Yeah. Yes.
And so this was, if you go ahead and read the article that this came out, and we'll put it up on the Facebook page, this article is really awesome because it's close as you're going to get to a documented haunting scenario because these cops and doctors and all of them came forward and said like crazy shit was happening this entire time.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. Yeah, lawyers, cops, and priests in the Midwest, those are probably the most respected people around.
I would admit
Absolutely.
that. There was speaking of, we mentioned the oil earlier. And it said that one of the women in the house touched the oil, and it said that there was a seemingly spontaneous wound or effect is like a blister after a burn. Father Maginot said her whole finger had this gray-white color, a death color. She wondered after if it maybe there had been a bug that had bitten her, but she didn't see anything or feel anything.
Greasy walls. Very interesting.
And he was like, and of course he was like, oh, you know who you're going to need to fix that finger, huh? Some of Father Maginot's beautiful saliva. Let me just, oh, so tiny. It's just like it's so tiny and pink. I like to just suck on it.
Suck on it like...
You done? You gonna come? I mean...
Yeah, sucking on it like Grandpa from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
So the family said that the final straw, which eventually drove them out of the house, they said they were watching TV and a bottle of Febreze floated up, moved in the air before being hurtled into LaToya's room and smashing a lamp, and in the aftermath they saw the shadow of a man.
I just feel like this house has a Jerry curl on top of it. I think that's what's happening here.
So a clairvoyant who had visited the house told LaToya she saw hundreds of demons in the basement.
Whoa.
And she told her to anoint the house with oil and put down salt to seal the gateways to demons.
Just, again, floor. Put down some floor.
Put down a floor could maybe help toss some crosses down there. Get a cross on a rug.
That would be great. Wow.
So finally, the exorcism came. Of course, she had moved out by this time. And what we know about exorcism, or what we know about possessions, you go back to our episode Hostage to the Devil, we talk about a few different cases of possession. The person, the demon is attached to the person. It is not attached to the house. And this is also the case with a lot of hauntings. When people, they'll think like, okay, this house is haunted, they'll move somewhere else. But the demon...
Yes, the spirit or whatever, the entity always, a lot of times reacts to one person in the family.
Yeah.
Because if they talk about like modern theories about ghosts and hauntings are that it is a connection between lingering energy and the operating system that is our consciousness. That our consciousness is a remote thing around our heads, and that it's basically like the cloud, and that entities or energies that are left behind and like sort of get involved with that and create these apparitions and create like poltergeist activity. They create like audio hallucinations and visual hallucinations. And so that's why, I mean, scientifically, that's why the demon thing could be real.
So it's like a beer can hat. So like, so you got the hat, and that's like your main energy, or your main core, and then you got the two beer cans, and that's the energy. Yeah, and then they turn you into a demon.
Pretty much.
Isn't that fun?
So, of course, the demon was exorcised eventually, and new tenants moved into the house, and they have had no problems whatsoever.
Except for living in Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, with the dirt floor.
The school system's fucked. The transportation system's fucked.
Doesn't exist.
The food is terrible. The weather's bad.
Yes.
It's a bad town.
But did you know the Jackson 5 actually grew up in Gary, Indiana? So that's kind of cool.
And they said that the haunting stopped after the priest sealed up the portal with salt. And the priest, he accosted the landlord. He warned the landlord. He told landlord Charles Reed, he said, if we don't deal with this now properly, this will not go away. This will close the portal and seal it.
But he was like, get out of here, pervert. Quit yelling at me in my living room. Come on, get out of here.
Yeah, sure. All it takes for you to leave is to just throw down some salt. Fine. Just fucking do it and get out of here.
Do what you got to do.
His children's semen-soaked pants off of my couch and go down to that demon basement.
So we're going to stay on the subject of Satan here.
Wait, first thing, can we get a Halloween breakdown?
Halloween breakdown.
Halloween.
That was the breakdown?
That was the breakdown.
Oh, okay. Let's not do that again.
So we're going to move on to a satanic ritual now.
Ooh, cool.
So, in this satanic ritual, this is a satanic ritual out of Mexico. This is not possession. This is much like a lot of the other satanic ritual type stuff that we've covered. This is just plain old torture disguised as Satanism.
And I want to say, as soon as you said that, Marcus, the largest fly I've ever seen just appeared, and it is terrifying me. Ooh. So that's the sign the devil's about. Ooh, very good.
Or is it Vincent Price?
Ooh, I don't know.
Help me. Help me.
Vincent.
Help me. Help me.
What?
You never seen The Fly? Come on.
I know. Yeah.
You're stupid, Ben. You're stupid.
I saw The Fly. Good God.
The original.
Now let's get back to the story of Maria del Carmen del Rodriguez del Garcia del Fernandez del Martirpanto del Rios.
I love her.
So her, together with her sister and two brothers, as well as her parents, were said to stage a satanic ritual in the town of Znevahorlacalocahata.
Yes. That means bird, rhino, dog, snake.
I thought it meant
in
Gary.
Old Mexican.
Might mean Gary, Indiana in Spanish as well.
So as the six danced and cavorted and called on Satan to bring the world to an end.
That's
and
fun.
Satan, will you please come and change out room 316 for me? I am sick of how gross the pillows can be. Oh, Satan.
That is a nice thing to ask the devil to do.
So they were
Come take over your hotel maid job.
Right. Well, let's say they own the place, huh?
Yeah.
Come on.
So everyone said that everyone was told to close their eyes so they wouldn't look upon Satan when he arrived.
Never open your eyes because, to see Satan not only 5 feet from you, but he's the one squeezing in the bathroom. Oh, Teresa, you will go blind.
I've heard that. That's true.
But the 5-year-old in the room, this is when the child comes into the story. The child of Maria del Carmen Garcia Rios. Mm-hmm. He was too scared to close his eyes because, of course, there's a lot of commotion going on.
And
he
I've
doesn't
never
know
heard
what's
of that.
going on.
I've never heard of the too scared to close your eyes scenario.
I mean, I think that's a very good. That's smart. If you're you got to get your surroundings.
Yeah, you got to know what's going on.
Know who's about to attack you.
I heard that Wade Boggs never blinked.
I've heard that as well, and that is 100%.
That makes a good baseball player. Never blink.
Never once, because you blink once, your eyes get used to it. Next thing you know, they're blinking all the time and maybe even sleeping.
Next, you never know when you're gonna miss a frozen rope coming down between second and third.
Absolutely.
So the mother and the sister, in the middle of the ritual, displaying some real quick thinking here, grabbed a spoon and gouged out the boy's eyes.
Ah, that was smart.
And this is the problem too. If this was some sort of, I guess if they had all went to some sort of like friendly chef meeting or some sort of fun culinary store, they would have had a melon baller.
Right.
For them.
Yeah, and a melon baller, really one of the laziest inventions that's ever been invented.
Yeah, just use a spoon.
Use a spoon, ball it up.
I don't know. Have you tried a melon baller? I'd say give a melon baller a go.
I don't like a melon baller because the balls are too small. I like a big piece of melon.
No one's telling Ben how big his melon slices are going to be.
That's right. I'll put my whole face in it.
You just eat melons like Shrek.
Yeah.
You pick up a melon and just eat it like it's a fucking apple. You fucking
I eat it like
giant.
every cartoon hippo eats. That's how I eat my melons.
So let's move on now to a mysterious disappearance. Now this one
Can we get a Halloween breakdown?
Halloween breakdown. Ooh, that was a good one.
Halloween breakdown.
But yeah, so that's the end of that story. They got the kids' eyes.
They gouged the kids out, and they were all sentenced to 30 years each.
Okay.
Of course, because the kid did not die.
No,
But
No,
we might be
because
doing.
that's what they said. It's a very specific crime called making an hors d'oeuvre out of your son.
Oh, I hate when they do that. Yeah.
We may be covering this in a future episode, but in my satanic ritual researches, I found that a lot of satanic rituals of this kind take place in Mexico.
This is not shocking.
It's not shocking.
And a lot of weed is smoked in Colorado.
Yes, because it's just so insanely out of the. I mean, again, this is a defamation of Satanism. This is not what Satanism is about. I also, I don't want. I'm in risk of getting a nerd alert here, but I bought the Book of Thoth tarot deck, Aleister Crowley's tarot deck that he created, and the book that he wrote to go along with it. And so I'm gonna be doing my own
alert! Good
I will
God.
be doing my own Mexican satanic rituals from my own home here in Los Angeles.
Henry, can I just recommend getting a friend while you're out there?
I don't need friends. I have ghosts and aliens and serial killers.
Please, God.
So we're going to move on to the Tara Calico disappearance. Ooh. And this is, I'm sure you've seen pictures of Tara Calico. There's always, you always see on the internet those lists of pictures taken right before somebody's death.
Right.
Yes, this is very fucked up. When I read about this, because I've seen this picture before, and then I just never really went through the details for it. Because honestly, there's a thing to me. What's scariest to me is the idea of these mysterious disappearances, where you hear about them in America all the time. As we've covered them before, and Coast to Coast is specifically obsessed with them. But the idea that and it happens pretty often, where you're with somebody and people just disappear. They just go. And this is, imagine if instead they just disappear, then you get some clues as to where they are, and the clues are even more disgusting.
Right, the old Irish goodbye. I like that a lot of these killers, just the time to take the picture, that's got to be awkward and odd. You know?
Yeah. Oh, that was blurry. Wait, can you just? Can
you look scared?
Angle your face more towards me?
Right.
That would be great. It says ooh, yeah, because you got a double chin in this one.
Right.
You don't want me to put that one up.
Right.
So, on September 20th, 1988, near Bella, New Mexico, Tara Calico, 19, was biking to school, and she was known as a long-distance biker. She'd bike about 18 miles per day.
Oh, so very attractive, probably a tight butt. We can figure that out.
Oh,
She's 15 years old.
It's 19.
Oh, okay, yeah. Game on.
Well, not anymore, Henry.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's off. Everything about this sexual... You ruined my...
Yummy.
Okay,
I'm going to take her. I'm going to steal her.
Well, you can have her. It's like you licked all the cheese at the party. You get all of it now.
You guys want these olives? Because I've been sucking on them.
So, after she left that day, the family never saw Tara again. The day after she disappeared, her mother, Patty Doyle, found a cassette tape by the band Boston by the side of the road near Brugge Street, which is a few miles southwest of their house. Now, she was known to listen to her Walkman, specifically Boston, quite a bit.
Nothing gets you going like Boston.
Oh, no, not at all. So later, they found part of a Sony Walkman, which was the same model that belonged to Tara, along Highway 47 near the John F. Kennedy campground, 19 miles from Calico's house, just a little further than she planned to bike that day.
But they didn't find the Schwinn, huh?
They did not find the Schwinn.
No.
They didn't find the bike, and they found nothing from her.
Well, I think the Schwinn is more important in this situation because you can't sell a woman online, but you can sell a bike.
So what they found, though, the most promising lead, but also the most frustrating, they found a picture depicting what some say is Tara and another missing area resident, thought to be a kid named Michael Henley Jr., who had disappeared in 1988 while he was hunting turkeys with his father an hour from Albuquerque.
Now, the picture is incredibly haunting because basically they found it out on the ground, and it's a picture of her. And if you look at pictures of her before, it looks really close to her, if it is her. But they are bound in the back of a van. We'll put up the picture on the Facebook page, and it's horrifying. They're about to be dead or sold into prostitution.
Yeah, and there is definitely some evidence that it is Tara. Some people say